What's up, y'all? It's BJ back again. Joe's Interlude. We're back with our next segment. I think this is episode 6. I don't know. I'm losing count. But I'm here with my good friend Caleb of the LOL band, the bassist, the man behind the curtain that does all the orchestration. It's a pleasure.
I'm glad to be here, man.
Yeah, man. We're back again at the LOL studio. The melting pot of a lot of creativity. We're back, so we're gonna jump right into today's episode. Today's episode is based around discipline. You know that our episode is always talking about purpose-driven life and the things that it entails. And like always, I try to find somebody who's living a purpose-driven life and something they've mastered that's helped them keep them on track. So before we start, if you have any acknowledgments, shout-outs, this is your show. Just here, man.
Hey, just give a shout out to the band, Live All Loud band. You know, look us up, follow us, Google us. All of the above.
For y'all that are listening, I advise that y'all listen to Organized Chaos. Yeah. If you're a music junkie, you are going to. I'm telling you, it slaps. Yeah, it's a good album. I actually went back and listened to it after talking to David, and you guys are doing some things that's wonderful. So check that out. I think it's on every digital musical platform.
Digital platform. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, check them out. You'll be really excited. Yeah. So tell us about you. You know, if you want to drop your age, your government name, all that stuff. Let us know who you are, what you do, how long you've been doing it, all that good stuff.
My name is Caleb Dada. My brand name is Tolu. You can look up Tolu on pretty much any platform and a social media site. First, I'm a producer and an artist. My primary thing is the Live Out Loud band, like I was mentioning earlier. The bassist for the Live Out Loud band, the engineer, the producer for the Live Out Loud band. A lot of different stuff. Stuff for the Live Out Loud band. We all behind the scenes working to make it work. But outside of that, the only thing I really have going on is my own personal brand, which is Tolu. I produce music, produce tracks, audio engineer, different things of that nature.
Oh no, you good, man. Keep talking.
Just write songs for a couple different people. Any type of thing as far as studio related, I pretty much do. But yeah, man, I've been doing it for a while. I've been doing it for 12 years.
Man, that's a long time.
I've been doing it for a long time. I've been with the band for a long time too. So
you guys are touching 10 plus years, huh?
Yeah, we've been now, man. Well, me and David are touching almost 20 years. Me and David started on our instruments together. Primarily.
Man,
so
that's crazy.
Like a long time ago. I would say a little bit over. I wouldn't say two. I gave it maybe a little bit stretching it. Maybe I would say a little bit over 15 years. Maybe 16, 17 years, man.
You round. That's closer to 20 if you round it up. So man, that's pretty good. That's good that you guys are so close, tight knitted. It's a community sense.
Yeah, man. It's definitely.
So that just transitions.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's definitely a family situation, man. That's what keeps us strong. That's what keeps us together. Because before we got on the instruments, we were friends. So it helps us a lot in the business aspect. We always can kind of fall back. They say you don't do business with family, but that's if you don't have like-minded people. Yeah. If you got like-minded people and you know how to separate business and family, we know how to how to separate those two arenas. Anything can happen in the business realm. You can fall out with somebody, but at the end of the day, that's my boy, man. That's what David, Darius, and the rest of the band. That's how we function. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Been together so long.
Man, that's good you say that, because I heard a conversation today and a colleague of mine said the same thing. It's hard to work with family because they can't separate the two. But the fact that you guys have the mindset to say, you know what, this is this and that is that, and it does not blend. Certain elements don't blend. Yeah, you got it. It is crucial, especially when you operate in certain industries where you need come hell or high water. I know you're gonna operate in your role.
Right, exactly.
And that's what I was gonna say. So
man,
it's good that people know their roles, because that is crucial when you're building an empire.
Exactly, man.
So that's what's up, man. That's tight.
Positions and different than knowing, like you say, knowing which role you're playing and just playing that position well.
Man, that's crucial.
Yeah,
that is crucial.
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing we not to stray off soccer, but I feel like that's the thing we miss a lot in a lot of communities and a lot of organizations is being an alpha male is playing your position and playing it well. So you just I just keep that it resonating with me. Like
that's what it is. Because if oh you good? It's gonna pick it up. So nah, it's straight, man. So you good? But and that's good you say that because if you think about if you look at the apex kingdom and they say the lion is the leader of the pack or the wolf is the leader of the pack, the alpha wolf is actually in the back serving in humility.
Wow.
The lion of the pride is in the back and the females play their role. I'm not talking Discovery Channel, but if you actually watch it, that's the order. So we try to mimic and say
order.
The lion and wolf is fierce and up in front, and really the leader is in the back making sure that the ones that are weaker are getting along. And at least, he's helping them get by.
Right.
Like that's good you say that because that is the alpha male's mindset. It's like humility.
Exactly, man.
And not ferociousness.
Yeah, exactly. Man.
Only if I have to, but then that turns to meekness.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's an admirable, I feel like that's a better quality if you're meek and not arrogant.
Yeah, exactly.
Because arrogance, you only want to do what makes you look good.
That's true, man. And like you say, with the parable of the greatest among you will be your servant. You know what I mean? That's just Jesus washed feet. That
says a lot. And he was the creator of the universe.
Right.
But he served in humility as the janitor and a carpenter.
Right. Exactly.
In that day and time, a carpenter was like a paint. You were a painter in our times.
Yeah, exactly.
It was not a high end job, and it wasn't something that brought you all these accolades.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It was grunt work.
Yeah, exactly.
And he did it in humility. So that's good that you say that because the alpha mindset is, if we're going to say that, is something you should have equipped if you're living in your purpose.
Right. Exactly.
I feel like all these concepts, values, and views tie in together into this overall thing.
Yeah.
That this is the buffer or the foundation of your purpose.
Right.
So we can jump right into the discussion. Today's discussion is discipline. So before we talk about all the things that you
it's a good topic.
mastered and included amongst your craft to move you in every areas, what's your definition of one purpose and then discipline, and how you think both of those, how discipline ties into purpose?
Okay.
So you can take your time and elaborate it. There's no rush. I'm all ears.
I'll start with purpose since you just said that one first. Man, I think your purpose is I think your purpose is something that you have to discover. I think a lot of the times, purpose to me by definition is, I would say, what you are here for.
That's what it is in a nutshell.
Just as simple as I could put it, what you're breathing, what you're living for. But I think that is discovery. I think you don't come out the womb just knowing your purpose. Even if you just mildly doing something, or you mildly great these 9-year-old master bass players or these 8-year-old great.
Yeah, it's some sense of self-discovery.
It's still a sense of self-discovery because at that age you're just kind of being taught to do these certain things. Somebody's guiding you to do these certain things. So I think your purpose is to really find that it has to be a self awareness, something just one day you wake up and it's like a light bulb just go off, like, man,
I'm supposed to be doing this and I'm supposed to be here. And that's crazy you said that. I always say it on every podcast. I thought my call in life was to be a music teacher, but it's transitioned to me being a sole proprietor, and in that being able to apply and be influenced and influence others. Yeah, sure. And this is just one aspect of me being in my purpose. I don't know though that allotments, but it was a journey because I was like, I don't want to be a sole proprietor. I want to be a musician and play for Michael Jackson. That was my goal at 6. Yeah. But as life progressed and the scenery changed because the path never changed. The scenery changed.
Right.
I realized, okay, this is my innate purpose for this moment in time, and because of that, I'm gonna seize it with everything that's in me.
Right. Yeah.
So it is a self-discovering journey. So.
Right.
I like that. I like that. And then
that's a perfect example. You know?
Yeah, and it's even at this juncture, you know, it's now looking at the how am I visualizing the walk? Am I focusing on things I know I can achieve that I haven't achieved, or my work ethic? You know, and is it 100% every time I step on the stage? Meaning, you know, when I'm in my element operating, or is it just, you know, here and there? And when a big opportunity comes, then I want to give it my all. Yeah. So it's just how am I seeing it? And my sister told me, and I don't mean to get off subject.
No, that's all good.
This is your thing.
Cool.
I'm just
here. I'm gaining knowledge, man. Knowledge is power.
My sister said something to me 2 years ago when our mom passed. She said, "Yeah, man, she's in a better place, and God knows what He's doing." So the more I talk about it, the better I get healed. So I'm not bothered at this juncture. My sister said, she said, your perception will become your reality. Right. And it makes perfect sense, because if you perceive certain things a certain way, eventually that'll be your total outlook on life. Yeah. So at this juncture, in the the hands and feet work of the journey, right, I'm like, man, you know, I got to make sure that I'm perceiving it in the right light.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
So
I mean,
the reality
think, you know, I mean, that people base their decisions off their perception.
Yeah.
The people base their whole life decisions off their perception. I mean, and it's so funny, you know, because humans we're plants. Everybody's seeing it different ways. Mm-hmm. You'll have a whole miscommunication or argument about something, and it's like two good people, but it's like, okay, well, this
everybody's outlook.
That's life. You know what I mean? That's how honestly I feel like that's how the future comes about. Based off people's perception. Like, we need that, you know, even if it's totally different from somebody else's perception, now their perception is going to lead them to do something else or something great. Yeah. So we need that to really bring about the future. We need, it's weird as it sounds, we need those misunderstandings. We need those different looks at it, you know what I mean? We need that plant-like mentality or way of living, you know what I mean, to really, really, to get to the next step. You know what I'm saying? This process.
Yeah, that makes sense because it's applicable.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, I was listening to a guy talk today, and he was talking about negative visualization, and he was basically talking about scenarios when you're faced in the business or corporate sector with people who have a complaint. Instead of looking to combat it and prove your point, simply, you know, listen, hear their perspective, and then when you see their perspective, it changes the dynamic of the concern or the complaint. And he was saying, you know, to a certain extent, understanding how to respond and react to these negative or the opposite of optimistic scenarios and situations teaches you how to be well-rounded for the future, like you said. For sure, yeah. Because if you're always just talking positivity, it's not proper growth. It has to be some balance of negativity.
I just put a track out called Balance, man. Yeah, and that's a whole other world right now.
Yeah, because the negativity teaches you. Yeah, it teaches you to see the positive, but understand that these are the appropriate lessons.
Exactly. I mean, you know, the thing is that like I say, that those different perceptions are gonna cause that reality, and it's gonna all be. It's all leads back into balance. And it's all leads back to that negative and positive force that's everywhere. That's from when God said, "Let there be light." You know,
it had to be darkness for there to be light. Man, you preaching now.
And so yeah, man, it's all balance, man. And you know, as far as discipline, I mean, I think. You know, my definition of discipline, man, is just, man, it's tough, man. But it's, I guess, To me, I think that discipline is more of a mental thing. I don't think it's necessarily what you cause your physical body to do.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think it's something. I think discipline is a mental workout every day more so than anything. You know what I mean? I don't think it's one of those things where it's like I have to do this every day, and you know what I'm saying, and that's how I'm disciplined.
A habit.
Yeah, I think it's if you execute whatever is in your mind every day. Like not necessarily like, oh, I have to work out at this time every day for the next week, and then that shows that I'm disciplined. Now it's like not necessarily that I have to work out, but can I execute what I have in my mind? I might not have to work out every day. I might have to do this and maybe work out every other day, or have something else at this time of that day.
But the formulating,
like me just executing what's in my mind. You know what I mean? I think that's more so discipline than anything.
Physical.
It's a mental. It's much more a mental thing. Much more mental thing.
Okay, so I see what you're saying. So it's. The physical is the reaction.
The physical is definitely the reaction.
Mentally is, I guess, structured.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's it just makes me think of mental. Like my whole thing, my whole brand. Like the Tolu brand, you know what I'm saying, is we live out of the entity, so it's it's a collective thing. But as far as just myself and my brand, my whole brand is about balance. Yep. Is about the negative and positive aspects of things. You know what I'm saying, and bringing that to the forefront. Mm-hmm. And I feel like discipline, it just goes right along with that, because what it does is it exposes both of those realities.
Yeah, it does. It does.
You know what I mean?
It does.
And it's everything.
No, it's a broad spectrum, but the fact that you can sit and map it out for you transitions to how you apply it. Because me, just now, my definition of discipline has changed. Because my definition of discipline is getting up and, okay, I'm going to do this and do that every day. And eventually it'll become a habit.
Yeah.
But now that I'm thinking about it and really analyzing discipline in itself, I always listen to a lot of people. And this one guy said, Michael B. Jordan said it, the reason why he's so able to be effective and just working out consistently is because he mentally understands his whys.
Yeah.
So for me, that's what I think of. Okay, when I start sitting back and saying, why am I doing this? Or what's the reasoning behind doing this? Then it helps me to mentally formulate a structure in my head before I even physically act it out. So that makes perfect sense. And I would say that all the time, but now hearing you say it is helping me. Okay, that makes sense. If I sit and analyze it, then I can apply.
I think it's having that plan. Once you have a really thought out plan, I think that also it's a lot more easy to be disciplined, because you understand that, okay, I can't necessarily slip this day because my due date is here. So if I slip this day, then that's going to throw off the whole structure of my plan. Like I planned it out for me not to slip on this day. Okay. And so if I do slip that day, then I have to push everything back, or I have to restructure everything. I have to do all these different things to meet my due date, or I'm ultimately going to have to push my due date back. And so I think that a part of discipline, it sounds cheesy or cliche, but I think a big part of discipline is having a well thought out plan before it even begins, because you can just see it. Like you see, like, man, this is, like you said, that why. Like, this is why this is why I have to do it today. Because if I don't do it today, then my whole plan that I this whole well thought out plan just crashed.
And that's crazy you mentioned that, because the last podcast episode was prepared scheduling and priority versus pleasure, or priority and pleasure. So the fact that you say you gotta have a well thought out plan, before you become structured is the important thing. So I understand, but we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll be back to finish out the rest of this podcast. One love. All right, guys, we're back for part 2. Is it recording on thing? Okay, yeah, it's gonna start. Man, it's cool. I mean, just to have the camera rolling for the YouTube channel. So, nah, it's cool, man. But yeah, we're back again for part 2. Had to take a brief break, Russian break, but the first part we're talking about, what is discipline? It's gonna pick you up. I just moved it over here, so it's not all me. Yeah. Excuse me, guys. I'm getting things together, so bear with me. So yeah, we talked about what discipline is, what purpose means to you, how that applies together. So most people don't know, but you're a musician. You started when you were younger. Oh yeah. You're touching 25 plus years.
Yeah, man. I started.
Musicianship.
Yeah, man. I've been playing instruments since I was at least, I want to say I was about 4 years old. All my older brothers and sisters and sister played instruments. They all played trumpet. So they put a trumpet in my hand when I was about 4 years old. And I just kind of took it from there, man. Just started playing a lot of other instruments.
So that means your brother. That means JD and Matt played trumpet.
Yeah, JD and Matt played.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. You wouldn't think it, but they played.
I wouldn't think that.
It was section leaders and all that.
Well, I can see Matt as a low brass guy, but not JD. I don't see him as a band guy.
Yeah, JD was a band. Definitely, he was a football. He was always football and band. I played.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
I tried to do sports. I was actually pretty good, but it's just I love music so much more.
I tried sports in middle school. Yeah. And I would always get mad because my mom, she believed in pushing us in our purpose. Because she said, if you get in your purpose, like me and David talked about it, the Bible scripture that says your gift will bring you before great men.
Yeah, it's true.
She believed that. So she knew I was a musician. So she didn't want to put me, she didn't mind that I played intramurally, but like middle school when it starts getting serious, she was like, you're not athletic to this level that you think you are, and I don't want you to waste so much time chasing athleticism when that's not your niche. You get the drum, go do it, and watch you excel, and that's gonna open the door for the talents and gifts that you apply. So I completely understand that, man. But middle school, you want to do both.
Yeah, it's good to have someone guiding you at that age. Yeah, they just see what you don't see. They just see what you don't see, seeing it from a different perspective. Even now, as I'm older, I'm realizing the importance of parents and that village around a child. Like that's really gonna dictate what that child becomes.
It helps. It helps a lot, especially when you have parents that are not vicariously pushing you to do what they didn't do.
Right.
And they're saying, this is your niche, and I'm going to support you in every way I can.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a crucial and important thing. But, okay. We can ask the big question that I think the rest of the stuff is kind of easier. But my second question was, if you could tell everybody, how did you start obtaining the mindset and the habits of disciplining yourself? And you can talk about it in any area that you feel, because I feel that you perfected this craft to the extent where it's effortlessly. Whereas other people, it's work to just get up and consistently do something for a month straight. So for you to be 20 years and consistently can do something, and there's not a snatch, there's not a hitch. Yeah, there's always the pain until I don't feel like it, but I gotta muscle through it. Yeah, because that comes with life. But how'd you get to a point where you say, you know what, I'm gonna wake up and discipline myself to do this, and it's never gonna change, no matter the season or the scenery. So talk about that, because it's a profound thing.
Yeah, man. I think, man, that's a tough question.
Yeah. I understand.
But you know what the thing is that I think I had with that, I definitely haven't mastered. Discipline. I definitely have a long way to go, and I'm looking forward to the process, and looking forward to the different stages. But as far as just at the current level I'm at, I think I did have a bit of not an advantage, but I had really, really disciplined older brothers and older sisters.
Okay.
And so it was just seeing them, like they were always the section leaders, and always JD was always, he was Mr. Kirby, and he was and Mr. Smiley and all that stuff. Like I just had older brothers and older sisters that just always wanted to be, I guess as children, wanted to be in the limelight or seen. I guess it's childish ambition. Like they just always had to be the forefront. And so unconsciously they had to be, it was as children, they wouldn't be indisciplined because they wanted to be disciplined. They just unconsciously were disciplined because they wanted to be the section leader. Or they wanted to be the drum major.
They had a goal.
They had a goal. You know, so it was like the children.
Buck it down.
Exactly. It's childish ambition at that point. They're children, and they just want to be that thing. And
but those are appropriate goals, though.
Yeah, it's really good goals. You know what I mean? And so I just grew up in a family of that. Like just everybody.
That was the whole.
Yeah, they just came home.
Essence and aura.
Yeah, so it was
crazy.
It was just one of those things, man. So I never just thought about it. I never really thought about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I never really thought. It just was one of those things. Like, man, if I want to get this, I have to do these things. And so. I think it's that. I think one thing that in particular, it's a thought that I had one day. It's one of those things, like we said, the Most High just kind of put a light bulb in your head. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things where I realized that even when I don't want to do something, and it's a cliche statement, but if I break it down to the steps of it, like if I break it down, like if it's when generally, it is for me, and I think maybe for most human beings, when I'm thinking that I don't want to do something, I'm thinking about the overall thing that I have to do. I'm thinking about like I have to do this big, because I'm like,
it's a
I'm
big
tired.
spectrum.
I just got to work and all that stuff. But I think what keeps me going through those particular moments most of the time. When I say I don't fall out sometimes,
but that's normal.
But most of the times, I think about the next step I have to take, and that is what I think. That is a big thing. Like thinking about the next step in that process. Like man, just that solely that, because that's where the discipline of the mind comes in.
Yep.
Like because it's like, all right. If I have to discipline my mind to block out all other steps and only think about
focus on the next
step, and it starts where it kind of starts in the mind of having that disciplined mind, Because if you got a disciplined mind, your body's gonna react.
Then you can willfully align your body to react.
You know,
and that makes sense. That I never saw it like that, but at the same time, I'm getting to the point in my life where I am trying to apply these nuggets, that if I keep looking at the overall picture, it's going to continue to discourage me. But when I go step by step and frame by frame, that I keep my motivation, I keep the determination, I learn how to battle with the emotions of consistency.
Right.
Because consistency, I feel like, plays a major role in disciplining yourself to be in your purpose. Yeah, that background noise y'all hear, we're in the studio, so they got a band recording. It just adds to the ambiance of the recording. So I know y'all like, it's 4 minutes of background noise. So what is it?
That's my fault, y'all. I had to misschedule it.
Nah, it's perfectly fine.
We're gonna get it there, though.
But back to it. It adds the core of purpose. If you understand it, that consistency, frame by frame, helps you tie in and apply discipline. So that makes sense, and that's really like something I'm learning to.
Yeah, man. I think that's very, very big. I mean, just for every human being.
Just the next step.
It's just the next step, because that's the ultimate thing. Because you'll find, especially when you only focusing on that next step, the momentum builds, because you do that next step, and you're like, man,
attention to detail.
Yeah, exactly. And it just builds that momentum. But if you have the whole thing in your mind and you do that next step, you're gonna feel discouraged. The psychology of the human brain, you're gonna just
you start looking at
half full and not half empty and not half full. All those just those psychological things that starts to happen. And it's like, man, but if you look at that next step, and once you hit that next step, it's like, man, what's the step after that?
yeah, that makes sense.
It's just one of those things. It's just that mental fight.
This is good.
Mental fight, man. That's the. I think that's the main thing in life. Like, period. is the mental fight that we all have. I think that is like one of the main things in life. If we could focus in on our mental fight, we would stop fighting the demons of like trying to, I guess, change other people or other people's perception, or all these different things that have external. That we fight externally. If we could focus in on that mental fight within ourselves, that is like there's so much attention that we have to give that. That the time that we use on external things that we can't control. That I think that's where the world's at these days. That's where the world is these days. Like, everybody is on an external fight. Everybody's on an external mission to fight externally.
But it's really internal.
It's really internal.
It's glad you said that. I heard a guy say that we live in a society that nobody wants to go through pressure. They would take the easier route than the appropriate route with the stress and pressure and the challenge of things to get to the next pinnacle point.
Right.
And so, that basically just accents what you've been saying. If we take a step back and understand that, hey, this is the next step.
Still, man.
I gotta do this.
Yeah.
And this is why I gotta do it. And it helps.
Yeah.
It helps weed out some of that negativity. Because for me, man, on this end, 5 years in, being a sole proprietor, then when I first began, of course, I began on a false sense. So it was an image I had to uphold because my perception was
for sure. I mean,
was not the perception it is now.
Yeah, for sure. I think what I'm learning now is that, I think the fight against others' perceptions is what we probably shouldn't focus on, but the fight against it. But for how people view you, will determine certain things from a business aspect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can get how people view you. Somebody can want to sponsor you from how they view you. Somebody can want to do business with you from how they view you. Or they can, different things. Somebody could not want to do business from how they view you. So it could be a great company that just because of how they view you, they want to So how people view you in a business aspect is important. So it's not that it shouldn't be considered. I think that the fight shouldn't be. It should be to prove. It should be more so internally. Let me prove this to myself. Internally, and once that happens internally, the outer shell or whatever they're viewing is just going to reflect the fight you just fought internally. You know what I'm saying? I think that's as confusing as that probably sounds. I think that's probably the best way I can say it. If we fight the internal battle, then the outward shell is going to automatically
it'll react.
It's going to it's one of those things, so step by step things.
Nah, man, and that just really confirms what I was saying and going to, is that I realized that it's me that I need to structure properly so I react right, and then it transitioned to help me. Okay, instead of looking at the overall masterpiece, what's the first thing I need to do? Okay, I've gotten that. I've mastered that. Now then what's next? And then, so now it's teaching me to seize the moment. And like I said earlier, be 100% in this exact moment. Instead of sitting and waiting, this is my opportunity to be 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
So because it, like you said, structuring the step-by-step aspect, just on my sole proprietor tip.
Right.
Now it's teaching me. Now I can embrace this. Now I can. Now the ins and outs is not as discouraging as it was before, because I'm perceiving and my perception has changed, and I've worked on the inward. I've defined inwardly, where I'm at, and then outwardly, regardless of reactions or this, that, and the other, X, Y, and Z, it does not.
It doesn't stray you.
It doesn't shake my foundation.
Exactly, and that's the most important part, man, because that mental battle leads to all other things.
Man, it does.
It leads to all the things. It's like it's
the setup.
Yeah. It's if you have to be able to fight mentally. And that's the thing that in 2018, it's hard to find. It's good people like you, that good men like you, that you're gonna find it in. But the majority of the world, and people, the crowd these days is like, now nobody's fighting. To me, it's like nobody. I don't say nobody, but the majority are not fighting mentally. It's all about external fighting. It's all about.
But you hear about. And I don't mean to cut you off, man.
No, you're good. It's all
My wife has really been getting on me about not cutting people off in segments. So
it's cool, man.
I'm listening, sweetie.
I'm in a band, man. I get cut off all.
Man. But where you're going, you're absolutely right. If you look at the past 5 celebrities, I'm not naming names or throwing any shade, but they had everything. They had all the access you could ever imagine, especially from people who don't come in that circle, that realm or space. They have all the access. And when I say that, money, because I'm understanding now that money just brings access to certain entities in life. They have all this access to a wonderful life, and you would think because they have all this access, they're mentally sound, but they're taking their lives because the mental battle.
Money don't buy it.
The mental battle has won. It's overcome them, and it's sad. It is very sad because it is, like you said, the mental aspect and the war that it is.
Right.
It's like an oak tree. If you feed it, it's gonna grow. But if you work at subduing it.
Exactly. And that's the thing, man.
You work at subduing it and keeping it at bay. It's a weed. It's not, you know what I mean?
And unfortunately, man, it's getting worse, man, because now it's like
that's the way.
The generations are like not teaching this to the kids at all. So it's like the kids are coming out like, now somebody told me the other day that these kids these days do not have morals. And I absolutely agree.
They do not have morals.
They have nobody to teach them. Like, even the grandmas these days don't really have that foundation and morals to teach these kids. And the parents, definitely. Parents,
the morality is out the window. It's out the window. Out the window. And like I said, the whole purpose of this is just to shine that light on. It does not matter, what's visually being represented.
That's true.
Is that uniquely who you are?
Yeah.
And if it is, are you being so confident to the extent where you're unapologetic about it?
Yeah, that's true.
Because the mark is missed, and then you just, you have the microwave syndrome. Oh, if I do this, all this trolling, people are willing to go to the extent of, and it's no shade against nobody, because I try to understand now, to see people, understand how people see and their outlook on life.
Yeah.
But
nah, definitely, man.
I'm not gonna go get my face tatted, but it's a norm.
Yeah,
it's a norm. And you would think like you gotta be. Some screws are loose. I'm not gonna just say that some screws has to be loose. Hey, man, but morally, it does not bother somebody if they have fear God, trust no one, or
the kids these days. That's what I can say. It's very sad. They don't fear. They don't fear higher being. They don't fear anything. Like, they said that about us, but I see it so much more in the kids these days. I hang with a couple of, I got a little homie, Royal Trey or whatever, an artist that I mess with. Just being around him, I'm just like, what he talking to me about and what's going on as far as kids. I be like, man, y'all don't.
Nah, man, you good, man, you good.
But man, it's just it's just unfortunate. And then like you say,
it's concerning.
Like it's definitely concerning. And then like you say, as far as discipline, the kids these days don't have discipline because they don't have anyone teaching them that, and then also the internet.
Yeah,
these kids are grown. We've never seen
that's
kids
that's
that grew up off the we've never we were introduced to the internet, but now we're seeing kids that grow up with it, have grown since like these kids were born in 2006.
I see 2-year-olds with tablets.
Yeah, they like you were born in 2006. All you know is internet.
I feel like overall the millennial generation started when MTV started, 1981. Well, the tail end of the early 80s till now. But it's pre-millennials, which is us, 80. I can confidently say 1980 or 1985 to 2000.
Yeah.
Roughly. Really cut off like 95. That pre-millennial and then like current millennial, 95 or 99 to 2000, 2005, and then from 05 to now, that's just like we're in that trolling age from then. From 05 and up is the trolling age.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of kids who are susceptible to do anything to get recognized.
You see
and
it.
not understanding that even though this is exciting and entertaining reality, that it's a certain level of application. So I get that and understand that, and I feel like the later in generation, it's no shade. I promise. It's all love.
It is what it is.
But it is what it is. Like
they are with the Santa Fe shooting, man.
They are no. It's never gotten to that extent when we were coming up.
Yeah, it's getting bad, man. It's only gonna get worse, and I hate, I'm not one of those people like. I'm not like in my mind. I'm like, okay, since I was a kid, I'm like, oh man, Superman. I gotta be the one to save this. I gotta be the one that makes a difference in this. And I would like to do that. I would like to be a part of the being a difference maker. But the older I get, the more I'm realizing, like, man, that
the change isn't there,
and it's not there. But it's also that internal battle. Like this, I keep going back. Like I said, my whole brand, my whole life, my whole being as a person is the internal balance and the internal battle of the mind. I feel like that when you talk about purpose, not if I can go back to purpose for a second, I feel like that is my purpose in life.
But that's the pillar. But that's a crucial pillar is understanding that there is a balance of a good amount of negative and positive.
Yeah, definitely.
And in that it creates and births.
Yeah, definitely.
The structuring of disciplining yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
And subduing a certain amount of negative where it does not, overtake you. So,
yeah, for sure.
Nah, you're on point, and it's very insightful. But let's keep going. So, what for you? What is the hardest thing that you have when it comes to saying, okay, I'm gonna sit down and do this? What's the hardest thing about disciplining yourself? For me, it's consistency. But now I'm learning to sit back and scope it. I gotta know my whys, build a proper foundation.
Yeah, have that foundation.
And then I can jump into it. I can get up at 5. I can go to the gym, work out for an hour, understand my workout, what's benefiting, what's not benefiting. Yeah. Make myself run, because I hate cardio. Yeah. But I understand there's something imperative that I need just health wise. Yeah. But understanding my whys.
The whys.
Burst the consistency and the hard work and the in and outs, and then the bad days and the good days. It's still the same result. Right. There's work put in, and the opportunity is seized.
Yeah, for sure.
But
definitely. I think it's the same for me. Is that why? Is that it's a two-step process. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of steps, but the initial steps, are you saying is when I figure out the why, that time of when that light bulb goes off, like when I say the Most High, when the Most High gives you that light bulb moment, like man. this is what I should be doing. And I didn't even know that I was building up to this, but it makes so much sense of this is what I should be doing and this is why I should do it. Once you give you that moment, and then also after that moment, what it is for me is the plan. Because I believe that another thing that I just really thoroughly believe is that everything humans do is based off a plan.
Yep.
Like to the smallest
visualization,
to the smallest thing, man. From me breathing, from me lifting my hands, all of it. Even if it's a millisecond, we plan everything. Like for me planning to pick up my phone, I planned that out before I picked up my phone. As fast as that happened, I planned it out, and so I think that if you have a plan, like that's that. I think once you get the why. When he gives you the why, that's what's given. You discover it, you know, you go through the life and you have to bump your head and you finally discover this why. Boom. I feel like at that next step, to answer your question is that plan. Like once I got the plan in front of me, man, it's like the actual doing part of it is not a problem for me because
it's not a reaction now, it's a response. It's well thought through.
It's well thought through.
Okay.
I can see the entire thing from top to bottom, and it's like even the parable of the parable of when they I forget how to simplify it. It's basically a guy that starts to build a house. Yep. He gets halfway through.
Yep, that's the parable of not. And Jesus said it. What sense does it make for a man to start building and he doesn't have a plan? And it says
you
gotta stop halfway through.
Yes, they didn't. It says it's getting at that. It's saying that he didn't count the tablets, or he didn't count.
Yeah, he didn't sit and assess everything that.
And man,
came to the plays comes into play. Yeah, you right. You're in the book. That's
and it's
on the mark.
Man, I feel like there's no way to have discipline. There's no way to have order. There's no way to have there's no way to have any of those great characteristics if you don't take care of that foundation first. If you and whatever is trying to be done, if you don't have the plan, the thought of well thought out plan, it don't have to be. You throughout the next 20 years. No, I think that's not cool because you don't know what's going to happen.
You don't.
But at least goal points, like just somewhat of goal points. 3 months, 6 months. Like this is where I'm trying to be in 6 months. This is where I'm trying to be in 3 months. If that's not there before you start it,
then you can't be disciplined.
Man, more than likely it's not gonna happen. Some people can do it, and you know, who to them, but I'm not one of them. If I don't have a plan,
I don't. But if we're speaking on honest terms, nobody can. You can never get to the fulfilled state because you don't even know what you're doing. I mean,
that's true.
When I first started cutting hair, and man, I respect my cousin enough because he gave me so many jewels. Cleo the barber, the best barber, your barber's favorite barber.
Definitely is.
He gave me so many nuggets that
Cleo.
You had to apply it to understand it. And one thing he said when you're cutting, when you're doing the design, if you can't already visualize how it's gonna look, you're blind. You're walking around blind, and it makes sense because then it plays into the steps. Then I can structure this out. If he wants a Texans design, first thing I had to do is check you go through the steps and mentally, because it's all mental. Discipline is mental, and I'm understanding that now. It's all mental, and because it's mental, then now my response is proper, and I'm not just reacting. Because I feel like reaction is without thought, and response is with appropriate thought.
So I like that.
So you're absolutely right. You can't discipline yourself or
without a plan.
Show growth in your art or act or area without a concise plan. And
because how do you even measure if you don't have a plan? If you don't have an end goal, how do you even measure discipline? How do you even? There's no way to even measure it and to say, I'm being disciplined or this thing is being disciplined. There's no way to measure it. Because it has no end goal to it or anything.
Yeah, you can't. And then you can't micro and macro it.
Exactly.
If you get in a car, if you don't plan, how much gas it's gonna cost, how far my destination is, if I need a roadmap, if I don't need a roadmap, the weather condition, the simple things
and we do it so fast.
Gas and destination.
We do it so fast that we don't realize that we plan it. You got some people out there that say, "Man, just do it like Nike." But Nike plans. If you
to a certain extent.
My thing about it is that with the just do it mentality, I believe in just do it, but I believe in just do it the right way. I think Nike left that part off after the
because it's catchy.
It should be just do it the right way, because you can. If you can say, oh man, I'm about to just do it. I'm about to just do it. I ain't gonna think about it. I ain't gonna plan it. I'm about to just do it. You can go out there and just do it. That's fine, and you're gonna be done it. But if it don't get you the result that you hope for, or if it doesn't land into a certain way, whatever, that's because you didn't have that plan. My thing is that I'm like, now I used to be like that. Like, man, just do it. I'm about to just do it. I don't want to think about it.
I'm impulsive. I am.
Now I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, yeah, I need to just do this. So now, for me to just do it, let me not get distracted by anything else, and let me hurry up and just plan.
That makes sense.
Just plan.
That makes sense.
Just do the next step, and I'm gonna just do the next step, and I can get it done very, very efficiently and very, very fast.
It's more effective now.
But it's more effective
instead of just jumping off the cliff and developing wings. But okay, that makes sense, because I mean, I'll just get out there and do it. Have no plan, no structure, no nothing. And my mom would always hound me about that. She was like, how are you gonna have a family if you don't have a plan? And the thing is, we think, we gotta macro every step and plot. If we have a beginning and a destination, as we're going, we say, okay, now I need to, think about the mileage, think about the road conditions. If we're talking about going on the road, then you think about the weather, think about the traffic. All other things start to come into play.
Consideration, man, because the thing about it is that just doing it sounds so fun and rock starish. It sounds like the bit, like, man.
But so much ties into just getting out there.
You could be just doing it, and you could be just doing it for 30 years. And not get to a desired result, because if you didn't just plan first and then just do it and then just execute. I think more so than just doing it, I think it's just plan, just execute. I think it's a two-step. I think it's, you can do it just as fast as somebody can say, I'm about to just do it. You know what I'm saying? You can plan. You literally plan that out first.
There should be some level of reasoning.
It should be a little level of reasoning, because you can just do it and not get to where you're going. I'd rather be the person that took that 5 minutes to plan first, and then I'd be efficient and be able to. And sometimes that's the hard part about it, because it's like, man, now I gotta plan first. I gotta. I'm like, but that's the hard part. That's what's gonna make. That's where you put two different brands aside each other, or you put two different people that are building this. You got two different guys building the same building, and they got the same end result in mind. But the one person says, I'm about to just do it. I ain't gonna think about none of that. I'm about to get these bricks in the head, and I'm about to get this clay, and I'm about to just start pounding. And you got this one guy that's like, I'm about to just do it too. And they hurry up and run to the desk and stay there for 10 minutes playing. But this dude is pounding, and he gets halfway up, and he has to stop and start thinking about different things, because certain things are cracking and about to fall over. And this guy's just like, he spent that 10 minutes and he just got started. And I keep on thinking
the application. Man, you're all right, man. It's good. Either way, it's still good. It's insightful, because you're getting man, don't worry about it. You're absolutely right. You think of the story of the 3 little pigs. One pig got up and did it with hay. When the conflict and the test came, he was not prepared. Same thing for the second one. But the third one, who took his time, was prepared and was able to withstand the test.
Exactly. And I think that from you can plan
proper thinking.
Yeah, you can plan a mentality of, I'm about to just go. I'm not finna. I got it. I got what I want to do. I've already planned it, even if it's not on paper. I've planned what I'm trying to do in my mind, and now I'm about to just go. I'm about to just make calls, and I'm about to just. I get like that sometimes, because sometimes that hesitation of a human brain. If you don't do something in the first 5 seconds, sometimes it will stop you from doing certain things.
Then you start formulating why you shouldn't do it in the first place.
Exactly, and that's if you can't have a mentality of just go, just go. Like, I know what I'm trying to do. It's planned out in my mind. I don't even really have to put this on paper, because it's such a thing that I have in my mind and brain that I'm about to just go. But I don't believe in just, but it's already planned, and you can just move as fast as possible in that plan. I think that's better than just just going without just doing without a plan.
Yeah, of course. And that goes back to the Nike statement, because then it's like just doing it probably just means, you know what, doing it without letting the fear of not knowing the innate process and outcome stop you.
Exactly.
You should get to a point where you just do it because the plan is concrete. The assurance.
Exactly. And then that gives you the point to where it's like, because even if you have a plan, you might not get to your desired end goal. So I don't think that necessarily ensures your end goal to be successful. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But it gives you a mark to press towards. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And
it encourages you to walk.
Only time I would say that just doing something, I never would really say doing something without a plan would work. But it is times if you have a problem, not a problem, but because I even have this problem. Every human has this problem with procrastination sometimes. If it's in those kind of instances, if it's a problem of procrastination, then sometimes you do got to just get your body to give you an extra bump. But I think you should start considering that as just go opposed to just doing it. Just kind of letting your body like carry yourself opposed to just like. That's the only thing I think.
How you feel.
Just do it the right way.
Nah. You're making a lot of sense. If you're talking about procrastination, for me, I'm learning that regardless of how I feel, if I need to do it, I gotta do it. Yeah. I can't let the emotions steer. Yeah. The emotions are just compliments. If that makes sense, it's just something to express. Yeah. But if I don't feel like getting up and doing it, for example, I'm trying to commit myself to being healthier, having a healthier approach in my life. Because I want to be active with my children 20 years down the line. Yeah. So it starts now.
Yeah, definitely.
It's days I wake up and I do not feel like going to the gym. I do not feel like running for 5 minutes. And the more I think about, I gotta run for 5 minutes, the more it discourages me. Yeah. But the war and the toll that I make with myself is that, you know what? I have to do this. This is my why. Just run for 1 minute. Okay, you ran 1 minute. Run for 30 more seconds. Okay, run for 45 seconds. I break it off. And then, oh man, you almost there. Just one more step. Oh, you can do one more step. You gotten thus far. Right. Continue in it.
Step by step.
And it helps combat the mental struggle of me emotionally not wanting to get up at 5 every day or 6 every day.
It's that mental fight.
It works, but when I sectionalize it off and frame it in that sense, it helps me to perceive it in a different aspect. And then now I'm teaching myself that regardless of the emotions, the action and response does not change.
Right, exactly.
That whether it's there, whether it's good or bad, the response, and then that, I feel like you said, that ties the concept of discipline in a nutshell. Yeah, that's the boat, because the mental aspect and the framing. So man, I never thought about it like that, but as you said, it made me think about just the personal, minute changes that I'm making.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think every human pretty much is dealing with that, man. I think if we just start with the mental battle, man, and in everything that we're trying to accomplish, we start with the mental battle. Whether it be discipline, whether it be focus, whether it be lack of procrastination, any kind of characteristic, I think if we start with the mental battle, like before we even try to do anything, and just go back to just a little bit to as far as planning and everything.
Go back to everything.
Now just real short, because I just want to clarify that as far as planning something before you do everything, like I said, I think you can plan in a millisecond. So it's like, all right, if the thought is like, all right, I'm gonna just get up and I'm gonna just run a mile. You just planned it, like right there, and then right after that, get up and go run them out. Yep. I think that. So I don't want it to seem like, all right, I gotta go to this.
You gotta have a concise macro plan. That's what I said with the destination.
I'm like, nah. I think
that's what I said with the destination.
You can plan in a second. You can plan in a half a second. You can plan so quickly. Because human brains are able to do that. Like we process stuff that fast. You know what I'm saying? I just want to put my hand right here. I planned to do that before I did it. Yeah. We processed stuff that fast, and I got it done that fast. I want my hand here. I got that done.
That's done.
I can
that's all it is.
Chop the checklist. You know what I'm saying? So I think things can, with that mentality, I think the human race could be a lot better.
No, you're absolutely right. And I don't mean to touch on and echo what you say, but
no, it's cool, man.
We're in the same ballpark, and it's a lot of confirmation, man. But just for me, it's like I said, the analogy of point A to point B. I have a beginning and an end, so I'm doing it. But in doing it now, I'm considering other factors, and that just adds to the whole planning aspect.
Yeah, for sure.
Or it's under the umbrella, so that makes perfect sense. Let's wrap up the next few questions, and I think we can head out, man. This has been a very insightful segment.
Man. Yeah,
really, really good.
Yeah, definitely.
Really, really good.
Sorry about the bang, guys.
Okay, we're gonna wrap this part up, then come back for part 3, touch on a few more nuggets, and do our acknowledgments and shout outs to everybody. So, all right, stay tuned. One love. Alright guys, we're back for our last part.
Yep.
Our last segment. We've had a wonderful podcast. I felt like I always try to be a student and not a teacher. I felt like I've learned so much that I can now apply and then try to incorporate in my life. Just on my small projects. Like, I'm trying to get a garden together. I'm becoming a believer that, as a family man, you gotta have vices.
Yeah.
To help deal with the realities of families, the in and outs, but they should be positive. So something positive for me outside of working out and not, going to drinking and smoking, working out, listening to the appropriate things, playing the game, and something new like planting. So I'm gonna try to apply some of these truths to just planting.
Yeah, definitely, man.
But that's just me. It's not about me. But is that recording? Yeah. It's cool. Guys, we're working. I'm having it together by the 20th episode. I promise. But I'm learning as I go. But
step by step.
3 questions I want to ask. And then you can, have your dissertation, man. Have your way
cool.
And do your thing. But 3 things that you do that qualifies as a good day. Let us know Caleb's definition of a good day.
Oh man, sometimes I'm sometimes I'm like so in the artist mode.
I feel
that
artist mode is a deep thing, man. That can go from a day to 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. Like it's so good things for me are just like so random and so like weird probably. But I I keep it unweird. I keep it just like in general like 3 good things, or just like if I can have it's for sure if I can like accomplish some type of musical project that day, or like whether it be me making a beat or me writing a song or me getting an idea out of my head, just anything musically. Just because I'm a producer, so I just feel that sometimes it's hard to feel that way when you're in the entertainment business, or you like do music, or you do art or something. It's like you don't feel that. If that's your occupation, then that is literally what you but that's what you have to do. You have to do that every day. Like if that's your occupation, if you have a job, whatever that occupation requires, whatever that job is, it's going to require you to do that every day. You know what I mean? And sometimes when you're an artist and you're a producer, we kind of lose that sense of that because there's nobody like beating us on the back or screaming at us. But so I just long as I make some type of music every day, to keep it simple, man. So some type of something. Even if I just start on the track, you know what I mean. Get an idea out, some music
concept of that,
and that leads to my practice. A good day is if I can practice as well. If I find something, just because I'm a full-time musician as well as an artist, if I can find some type of way to practice, something, even if I'm going over a couple of skills, even if I'm just doing a couple of warm-ups, like I just have to, my big thing now with practice is that even if I don't have a full out practice session, I have to get on that bass at least 15 minutes. At least just.
Nah, I don't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you're good.
But I feel like when you're a purposeful person, you understand now you can construct a positive and good session in less amount of time.
Yeah, that's true. That's
instead of having to have an itinerary on how to do it.
Yeah, man. Like as far as you don't want to sometimes, especially with practicing instruments, man. You know, sometimes a lot of people practice the same thing. I'm one of the people that's like, man, if I could execute a great session in 30 minutes, man, I'd rather do that than practice the same thing I've been playing. Especially with musicians, you get to musicians play the same things for about 5, 6, 7, sometimes 10 years, and it's because that's that practicing what you're familiar with. So me, I try to practice things that I'm not familiar with. Like a lot of times it's mental things as well when I'm on a bass. Not so much when I'm producing music. When I'm producing music, I try to get as much out of my brain as possible. Because that's just my time of like, okay, I can let I can just let all the endorphins in my brain.
And that's a lot. That's a lot on a production aspect because I'm a musician as well, and I ventured in production a little bit. And it's so much creative ideas that you just gotta kind of get it out. You gotta get it out, man. So the fact that you do that on a regular basis, I commend you on that. Because
I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, man. That's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at right now. I've always. That's where I'm at right now. I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, something every day. Even if it's not a full out session, my whole thing I've always been I gotta have a full out session every day. I gotta have a full out 2-hour practice session every day. If I'm not doing that, I'm a horrible person. Now I'm more so like I just need to do something with that every day. Since that's my occupation, I'm a musician. I'm a music producer first, and I'm a musician second. That's my occupation, and that's what I live by. That's what I tell people. I have to do something relating to that every day. Every day. And honestly, I should be doing more. It shouldn't be a 15-minute thing. I should be, hours and hours every day. But a minimum. At seasons. And at a minimum, 15 minutes, man. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. At a minimum, something. If that's your occupation, you got to do that every day. Because it's not your occupation if you don't. It's not a job. It's not. It's not. It's a hobby. If you don't do it every day as a work of art, it's a hobby.
And not a job.
And it's not a job. And I hate to say it. I hate to be so cutthroat about it, but that's the only way to progress in it.
Honestly, yeah. Because then if you see it as a job, your approach
is totally different.
Like being prepared changes. So.
It's totally different.
That makes sense. So those are the two major things that you do to constitute or qualify a good day for you.
I forgot I had a 3. You gave me 3.
Yeah, no, if you have 2, that's cool. 3.
I got one more show.
It's just
one more show.
Fine number, but okay, yeah.
One more show, and that's about eat healthy. And that's not, I guess, a single thing. That's a day, like throughout the day. If I can do those 2 things, practice, produce. I would like to say do some planning on my couple of business affairs that I have going, but mainly I would put eating healthy on top of doing that business affair because if I can eat healthy that day, that's a good day.
But what constitutes eating healthy for you? Because everybody's approach to eating healthy is different. Because they have so many diets, they have so many lifestyles. No lifestyle is right, none is wrong.
There's not eating that boy.
That crazy.
That's out there.
That
fast food.
Because that's present over here where we are.
Hey man,
every corner.
We were just talking about this last night. I promise you, we were just. And I said, and we had a point, and it was gonna be very short. We had a point where we used to live in the jungle. We used to live in these woods and everything. Well, you had fruits and herbs and plants and all that stuff all around us.
Yeah.
This day and age, man, we have literally French fries growing out the ground. We have burgers growing out the ground. Like, if you just visualize that, opposed to like strawberries and grapes and all this stuff growing out the ground, and we
it's fast.
It's like ice cream cones growing out the ground. It's like if you that's what the hood is. That's what if you look around and what you have to eat, it's the French fries
and
processed
like one
meat.
Subway every 10 blocks.
And apparently Subway ain't all that good.
So that ain't
we don't have anything. We don't have anything like. I still currently stay. I'm not gonna say it's the bottom of the bottom, but hey,
it is because it's just combined processed food that is not biodegradable.
Well,
and food should be biodegradable. After a week or so, you have a pack of bananas. After 2 weeks, a fresh pack of bananas is gonna deteriorate. There's gonna be a physical change.
Man, we don't have
there's no physical change on a Big Mac in 2 weeks.
No.
And that is
what's
grown and bred in our neighborhood.
And we wonder why we getting cancers and diabetes and prostate cancer, man. We weren't getting all this stuff 100 years ago. We started getting that stuff when out of the ground.
Started getting processed.
Food started getting processed, and right now, me and you can go buy 20 burgers from Jack in the Box. I wouldn't do that, but we could.
You can.
And then 6 other people could go buy 20 burgers from Jack in the Box after that. Well, how could it be that much meat in the world tonight? No.
It's like. And I heard this nutritionist say, and I'm not saying because he's a nutritionist, it's factual, but it made perfect sense. He was saying proper beef has the most and right amount of nutrients, more than chicken or pork, even in vegetables. And if you think about it, beef before it was modified on an outrageous scale, you've seen the results. You got the proper protein and nutrients. But now, since we have that GMO and it's and somebody broke down GMO for me to make me understand it. There's a type of GMO where they take, it's a bad crop or bad thing, and they make the best out of it, so it's beneficial. But then there's the GMO where it's overly induced, where down the line too much consumption of it, and this is just my interpretation, too much consumption of it causes all these other health problems. So
I just want my stuff natural.
Man. The overindulgence. That's my thing, and that's what I constitute healthy. Because I'm never gonna get to the point where I'm like, I'm on a meat fast. That works for some people. That doesn't work for some people. But mine's is taking a step back and overconsumption and balancing it. Am I eating this much vegetables as meat? Am I eating less amount of starch? And am I eating more fruits? Unfortunately, that's the society and where we are. And it's just because of the overindulgence. There's no cutoff line, and that can tie into discipline. There's no.
Exactly.
This is it.
Definitely ties into discipline.
Because if you look at other countries, at other countries. My uncle told me he went to Europe for like 7 to 10 days. He said in Sweden they have the plate is literally this big, and he said that's what they give you. They don't overindulge.
Right.
We in our country, you can have whatever you want. There's no stoppage, and that is underlying greediness and gluttony. And we thrive off this. A thriving thing in this society. You can have as much as you want. But let's keep going. One, how do you incorporate embracing your purpose in your everyday life? And then the second question is why being yourself so vital in this day and time. And then you can go right into your projects. So, in that order. And if you forget, let me know. It's cool.
No, it's cool, man. Just embracing my purpose in my everyday life, man. My pastor, I have multiple pastors. I have 2 pastors. Pastor Edward Buford and Pastor Terry K. Anderson, Little Girl Baptist Church. Just people that I look up to as a pastor over me. But he said, Pastor Terry K said, man, when you align your purpose with your passion, that's when you bring pleasure to God. And man, that's one of those statements that just stuck with me and will always stick with me. If you align your purpose and your passion, it will bring pleasure to the Most High. And that's my main thing I want to do. I want to not to get too spiritual, but I want to hear well done. You know what I mean? I want to get to the end of it all. Cause
there's no fault in that. It's true.
I want to hear well done.
It's true. You good, man. I'm telling you, I'm gonna pick you up, so don't even worry. I can't.
But I just want to hear well done, man. Every day I wake up, I'm not saying that's like the driving force. You know what I mean? Is moving with that purpose and making sure that it aligns with my passion. You know what I mean? And it does. Like currently in my life, it does. I don't. That's probably. I don't say it always has, but it currently just lines up, man. And
it does.
That's what helps me move every day.
Okay, and then why being who you are uniquely created to be and being unapologetic about it, why is that so important in our society?
Oh, it's very important, man, because it's the sense that we live in a society that people are not themselves, or people are, like I say, it's all external battles, so that with those external battles, you get a lot of people that are just like not being exactly who they want to be because they're so afraid of these different external things. And so I just know that it's really important for me because I have to be a light in that aspect, or I can't complain. I can't necessarily complain about it. I have to be at the forefront of it, making sure that like I'm just genuinely being true to myself. And then at the end of the day, I mean, just not we just cancel out everybody else. Just being myself, I feel like is the most important thing because it's more fulfilling. And when I get to the end of this life, if I look at my life backwards, if I go to my grave and look backwards to my life, like Les Brown, says I just would not want to look back on my life and say, man, I wasted any time being somewhere that I wasn't, being somewhere, someone, somehow that I wasn't really wanting a passion or purpose to do. And so I don't want to waste I don't want to waste none of that time doing that.
Man, and that's crazy you said that. I said it on the last podcast. For X amount of time, and I ain't even tell the girl. She said it before I could say it. Yeah, I wasted so much time being a crafted image of who I really wasn't, that it just pushed me to a space where I operated in improper vices. Pushed me to where I needed vices to regulate. Wasn't really me. But when I was approached by my wife, and she said, "This isn't really you." And it's not gonna work until you start being who you are. Now it's like I can effortlessly move, and it's not in arrogance, but it's in sheer confidence that if you're intimidated and offended, I understand that it's not because I'm being arrogant or cocky about me. It's just that you have some battle with you.
Yeah, it's an external. It's an internal thing.
Because externally, I'm all right.
Yeah, it's an internal thing. Yeah, for sure. And it's but yeah, man, that's what keeps me going, man. That's what keeps me every day, and that's what keeps me wanting just to be myself every day, man. Just passion, making sure my passion aligns with my purpose. Bring pleasure.
That's exciting. Yeah. So let's wrap it up. Give you accolades, your final dissertation, man.
Man.
Shout out to your people and the projects you're working on. We need to look out for. Yeah, guys, man. I'm telling you, this man right here is amazing. If you have not heard him, find some time. There's some stuff that it's out. People are sleeping on, so check it out, man.
I appreciate it, man. Well, man, I got a couple of things I'm working on. Well, I'll give you some of the things that we've done already, man. Like I say, I'm with the Live All Loud band, man. We got a couple projects out there, man. Organizing Chaos. We have a project coming out this coming month, The Culture Christ, featuring alongside with the lovely Miss Chancellor that we collab with. Also, got a couple of projects that we've done for other people, other artists as well that are very great. Lady Grace Dada, we've done her project. We got a project with Phil Wade. So all these different things that the band has produced, you can look it up. You can look us up, Google us, Live Out Loud Band, and a lot of that stuff pops up. That's the band that I'm in, and individually as a producer, man. Tolu is my brand. Look me up, man, on Instagram, Facebook. I'm working on a lot of different things right now. I'm in a collaboration with down in Houston right now. We're doing a lot of different stuff for a lot of different artists. Just to name a few, we're doing beats to be in the pool for Young Jeezy, to be in the pool for Jay-Z's and Beyonce's next album. We just doing a lot of different, making a lot of different people. We just sent some stuff to Ty Dolla $ign, but I'm not trying to name names, but that's just some of the stuff that I'm working on currently as a producer. And then also I'm working on my own project. My own project is going to be entitled A Story of a King. And so that we looking out for that. And I'm also doing a lot of production work on one of the primary projects I'm doing a lot of production work is Sean God Tate.
Shout out to Sean, man.
Yeah,
me and him actually come up in the same graduating circle class.
Yeah, Sean.
Yeah, man. T Money, T Joyce, man. I don't mean to shout out his government name.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
On the cast, man. But shout out to him, man, because I've seen his progression from when he started. It was a lot of to like now him and E-Dot and
amazing rap.
Rest in peace and Aunt Wayne. Like them boys started young and it's from then to now it's an amazing progression.
Top rapper in the city.
Yeah, when they take off, it's gonna be crazy. So shout out to him.
Top rapper in the city, man.
Yeah. He really is. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
And the exciting thing is, I was sharing with David, is that you guys are gonna take off. I believe that, man. I believe that so much because
appreciate that, man.
It's exciting for the city to have that. So you guys are gonna be the next thing, and I'm just trying to catch my little moment before it becomes into fruition. So
I appreciate that, man.
I'm excited about that.
No, it's not a little moment, man. We're gonna look back on this podcast and we both,
it's gonna be
on top, man.
And I can just simply tell my kids, I sat and talked with them.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be the podcast gonna be so great and big by then, man. We're gonna do another one. Part
sure,
2,
man. It's gonna be a follow up.
Part 2, man.
Hopefully, guys, we're gonna get the band, the whole band.
Yeah, we gotta get the band, man.
It's
Live
a
Out
great
Loud Band.
collective, group of individual guys who have insightful things that are applicable.
Yeah, man.
Getting better at my big words. I'm always just listening. So but as always, guys, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Today was another great episode. I'm gonna try to edit this one real quick, depending on how I feel, and get that out tonight. Remember, follow me on Instagram at Joe's Interlude for any more updates and features. Be on the lookout for our website that's up. It's working. We got a YouTube channel coming. We got apparel. Please be on the lookout. Support. Let your friends know. It's no shame in learning something new. Don't get stuck in the set where this is what I was raised on, that 6'10" mindset that's ever so present in our city, Houston.
Yeah, man.
Be okay with understanding different lifestyles because it helps you apply more things to your life. So
definitely, man.
Yeah, be a student, never be a teacher. So one love. Thank you.
One love.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.